How to fix this technical issue. Welcome back to Tenabalta. During our rigorous diagnostic sessions, our technical team encountered the frustrating FH201 and FH205 errors while benchmarking Forza Horizon 6 on AMD RX 580 systems. We investigated the root cause of these rendering crashes and discovered significant compatibility issues between the game engine and recent graphic drivers. Tenabalta's analysis revealed that standard troubleshooting is not enough, so we developed this comprehensive guide to permanently resolve the issue. Our initial testing showed that applying the community-developed Megadroid Games bypass specifically addresses the FH201 and FH205 hardware checks. We recommend downloading the fix archive and extracting its contents directly into your main game directory, where the executable is located. This effectively forces the game to recognize older hardware architecture without triggering the initial error code. Tenabalta engineers determined that the latest AMD drivers conflict with Microsoft Agility SDK requirements in Forza Horizon 6. To fix this, you must download and install the specific AMD preview driver labeled Radeon Agility SDK 2023-6-711. Installing this specific legacy driver restores the missing API hooks required for the game to launch properly on Polaris architecture. Before installing the recommended older driver, our diagnostics dictate that you must completely eradicate the current driver software. Download Display Driver Uninstaller and boot your Windows system into safe mode to prevent background interference. Running the ensures no residual files or registry keys conflict with the Agility SDK driver installation. Through extensive hardware testing, our team discovered a severe software conflict involving ASUS Armoury Crate. The background monitoring services of this application aggressively hook into the rendering pipeline, immediately triggering the FH205 crash upon launch. We highly advise completely uninstalling Armoury Crate using the official removal tool to stabilize the game environment. File corruption is a common culprit we identified during our Forza Horizon 6 crash analysis. Open your Xbox app or Steam client, navigate to the game properties, and initiate a file integrity verification scan. This process replaces any missing or damaged DirectX libraries that might be causing the startup failure. While Windows Game Mode usually provides a performance boost, our testing confirmed it causes scheduling conflicts with older AMD GPUs. Navigate to the Windows Settings menu, search for Game Mode, and toggle the feature off entirely. This prevents the operating system from throttling critical background rendering tasks required by the game. Similar to Game Mode, the Xbox Game Bar overlay is notorious for disrupting full-screen exclusive applications. Head into the Windows gaming settings and disable the Game Bar toggle to prevent overlay injection. Disabling this feature frees up vital RAM on the RX 580 and prevents overlay-induced rendering timeouts. Windows might incorrectly assign a low-power state to the game executable during initialization. Access the Windows graphics settings, browse for the Forza Horizon 6 executable, and manually force it into high-performance mode. This guarantees the operating system dedicates maximum GPU resources to the application from the moment it launches. The RX 580 is equipped with limited RAM, which forces the game to rely heavily on system page files. We recommend manually setting your Windows virtual memory to a fixed size of at least 16384 MB on your fastest solid-state drive. This provides the game engine with sufficient memory overhead to load textures without crashing to the desktop. The AMD Radeon software overlay frequently clashes with the Forza engine, causing unexpected DirectX runtime errors. Open your Radeon software dashboard, navigate to the General Settings, and completely disable the in-game overlay feature. Removing this extra processing layer ensures uninterrupted communication between the Agility SDK and the graphics hardware. Forza Horizon 6 heavily relies on the latest Agility SDK, which is only supported on recent Windows builds. Our team confirmed that forcing a manual Windows update to install all pending cumulative patches is absolutely necessary. Ensure your operating system is running at least the 22H2 build to guarantee full DirectX 12 Ultimate compatibility. Insufficient folder permissions can block the game from generating necessary shader cache files, leading to the FH205 error. Right-click the game shortcut, select Properties, and check the box to always run the program as an administrator. Elevating the software privileges bypasses restrictive Windows security protocols that hinder cache generation. During our investigation, we noticed that third-party optimization tools like Razer Cortex artificially restrict processing resources. You must close all unnecessary background applications and system optimizers before launching the game. Maintaining a clean background environment prevents aggressive memory clearing software from terminating essential game processes. Corrupted shader caches are a primary suspect when dealing with persistent rendering crashes on the RX 580. Use the Windows Disk Cleanup tool, select your system drive, and explicitly check the box to clear the DirectX shader cache. Deleting these old files forces the game engine to recompile fresh shaders upon the next launch, resolving graphical corruption. A missing or outdated Visual C++ runtime library will instantly halt the game initialization sequence. We suggest downloading the latest all-in-one Visual C++ redistributable package directly from the official Microsoft repository. Installing both the x86 and x64 versions will repair any broken dependencies required by the game executable. If you are playing the Microsoft Store version, a corrupted store cache can interfere with license validation and launch parameters. Open the Windows Run dialog by pressing the Windows key +R, type WS reset, and press Enter. This command silently flushes the store cache and re-establishes a clean connection with the Xbox gaming services. Overly aggressive third-party antivirus software often flags heavy game executables as false positive threats. We highly recommend adding the entire Forza Horizon 6 installation folder to your antivirus exclusion or whitelist menu. This prevents the security software from quarantining critical dynamic link libraries needed for rendering. Stability issues on Polaris graphics cards can sometimes stem from outdated motherboard BIOS versions. Managing the PCIe lane. Check your motherboard manufacturer website and carefully flash the latest BIOS firmware using a USB drive. Updating the BIOS improves power delivery and bandwidth allocation, creating a more stable foundation for the graphics card. Sometimes the game attempts to launch with graphics presets that exceed the physical capabilities of the RX 580. Navigate to the local application data folder for the game and manually delete the graphics configuration file. Forcing the engine to rebuild the configuration allows the game to boot safely in low settings for further adjustment. If the FH205 error persists, a Windows Clean Boot is our final diagnostic recommendation to isolate hidden service conflicts. Disable all non-Microsoft services in the System Configuration utility and restart your computer to test the game. If it launches perfectly, you can slowly re-enable services one by one to identify the exact culprit causing the crash. Don't forget to follow Tenabalta for more.